Linking on my brain.
Yo guys, welcome back to CP Gaming with my TEW 9 TNA episode 1. I would like to first just say a big thank you to everyone who has commented and liked my previous video and all the new subscribers. Very much appreciated. Hopefully my mic is a little bit louder for you guys now. Please let me know if it still needs to be a little bit louder, but hopefully you can hear me fully now. This is our first episode. It's the first Impact. Without further ado, let's get into the show. Let's run this show. We kick off with a pre-show match where we have Mike D. Vecchio versus Bhupinder Gujar. And we have Mike D. Vecchio pick up the win. And 39 rating, and Bhupinder gets a 27. Segment rating gets a 38. Commentary team have a very good chemistry and calling matches together. Just going to use the pre-shows for picking people up and being able to get some wins under their belt. Sorry, they had a little frog in my throat. So a nice little segment there. The wrestling got a nice 33 crowd rating, obviously 9, because obviously the crowd don't really know these guys yet, but we will be changing that. We've got the crowd simmering. Move on to the next pre-show. We have 3 today. And as you can see, we've got 445 people. That's something we will need to build over time. And in a 36 segment rating, which is pretty decent, we have Santana Garrett versus Harley Hudson. Harley Hudson picks up the win in a pre-show bout that had terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat. So I put Harley Hudson over here. I signed Santana Garrett to a one-night deal, local worker. Got Harley Hudson the win, and Santana was not very happy about that. However, Harley Hudson is our talent, so Harley Hudson will pick up that win. Harley Hudson has a strong connection with the young female demographic who really liked her winning. That is what we love to see. Garrett got an in-ring performance of 40, which is pretty decent. Harley Hudson had an in-ring performance of 24. We then move into our last pre-show match, where we get a 48 segment rating in a pre-show bout that had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat. Leon Slater defeated John Skyler in 12 minutes 18 seconds by pinfall. Wrestling gets a nice 47. The crowd reaction was pretty decent for this one, 21. Slater had a 45 and John Skyler had a 49 in-ring performance. That was very surprising. This was just another match for Leon Slater to pick up a win and get some momentum, but I did not expect these two to pull out a 48 segment rating in a pre-show bout. That is good to know. So, without further ado, we move into the Shane O'Mac era. So we kick off the first Impact. Ooh. There we go. We kick off the first Impact after Shane McMahon has bought the company outright. He makes his way to the ring to the sound of "Here Comes the Money." The live crowd are standing and cheering. Before Shane can speak, the crowd chant TNA, 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 TNA. Shane reacts by pointing the mic towards the crowd. He then says, "Impact Zone, it's good to be here." And I have goosebumps. And as you can see, Shane O'Mac is back. And he is back with TNA. There was some rumours that I was buying shares in another company. But that was just a ploy to see their business idea before I bought TNA. Sorry, T. Little cheeky look into the camera there. And T, we all know who T is, don't we? Now that I'm here, I'm dying to get stuck in. You will see some changes and some new faces around here, but all talent will have a chance to show their worth to me. It's a fresh start. On a side note, you will be pleased to hear that we have re-signed Scott D'Amore back to TNA. The crowd clap and cheer. So a little bit of a signing there. We do have Scott D'Amore back as a road agent for now. Now, getting on to tonight's show. But before he can continue, Nick Nemeth music hits. The champion is here and he comes down to the ring. As he enters the ring, the two embrace in a smile. Nick says, "Shane McMahon. Oh, I didn't think I'd be calling a McMahon a boss again. But please forgive me. But I just don't trust a McMahon. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree." Shane says, "Look, nearly says Dolph. Sorry, Nick. Whatever your feelings, you are entitled to them. But this is the new era. And I'm here. And I'm glad you have come out. It saves me from calling you out. Tonight, you will be in action. And that very nice looking title that sat on your shoulder will be on the line against none other than Moose." Shane then places the mic on the floor and makes his way up the ramp smiling as we see Nick Nemeth furious in the ring. So we kick off TNA Impact with Shane O'Mac, and we already have a world title on the first night. 60 segment rating, very good rating. We had two parts of this. 62 and a 52. Shane McMahon has debuted his high society gimmick and it's got an initial rating of Paul. And they do very well off script, which is good to know. Always good to get them knowing that we can get that off script working. So yeah, a nice little segment to open up Impact Wrestling. We move into our first match of TNA. And it's Kushida versus Laredo Kid versus Matt Cardona. And in a decent match, Matt Cardona defeated Kushida and Laredo Kid in 13 minutes and 1 second when Matt Cardona pinned Laredo Kid with a broski boot. This was designed to have high spots. 47 segment rating. Wrestling got 48 and a crowd reaction of 36. Crowd are hot. Kushida gets a 47. Laredo Kid gets a 54. Matt Cardona had an in-ring performance of 44. And this advances the X Division title storyline. So one of our storylines is off and running. And Matt Cardona picks up the win. We then move to a backstage segment where we have Ash by Elegance, and she's walking backstage when she bumps into Jordan Grace. "Oh, sorry there, fella." "Oh, sorry, Jordan. I thought you were someone else." Jordan just looks at her and smiles before walking away. But as she does, she hears Ash say, "You see that? That title would look so much better on a prettier face." Jordan makes her way back. "What was that, Ash?" "No, seriously. What did you say?" gone a bit quiet all of a sudden. Tell you what, why don't you face me in that ring and I can rearrange that pretty face of yours? No? No, I thought not. Jordan walks away as Ash stares her down. 40 segment rating and advances a title worthy of some elegance storyline. So we have Ash, who has put a dig at the looks of Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace was not going to stand for that. Our champion has our first challenger. We're then moving to another backstage segment where we have AJ Francis and he's backstage talking to Casey Navarro when PCO just walks straight into the shot and stands right in front of them with the Digital Media Championship on his shoulder. Both guys are looking very confused. AJ asks if PCO is okay, but PCO just stands there and makes random noises towards AJ. AJ and Casey slowly back up, muttering, "This guy is weird." So as you can imagine, PCO with his Frankenstein noises, walking in, kind of spooking out AJ Francis and Casey Navarro. 41 segment rating. And Tamer Monster has advanced. We then move into a knockouts tag team match where we have Spitfire versus Li Ying and Rosemary in about that decent wrestling from the reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling. Spitfire defeated Li Ying and Rosemary in 9 minutes when Danny Luna pinned Rosemary with a bridging German suplex. So obviously we just got Li Ying and Rosemary thrown together. This was a non-title match. We get nice wrestling at 35, crowd reaction at 25, and the segment gets a 39. The best performer was Rosemary, but as you can see, all four are very much around the same rating. Jodie Threat of 34, Luna of 33, Rosemary of 38, and Li Ying of 33. Luna was off her game, which is even better knowing that she can get a little bit more out of that rating. This got the crowd even hotter, which is great for a women's segment and a women's match. Hopefully we can build this division because we don't have a lot of women wrestlers. But after the match, Spitfire grab the mic and they issue an open challenge to any team for their Knockouts tag team titles next week. So these guys are riding a bit of momentum at the minute, but they've just outed an open challenge to anyone, and that is very, very dangerous. Nice 40 segment rating. So what we've done here, we've actually missed one of our segments. It may be a bit of a mix up here, but it was a segment where we had Joe Hendry have a video package, a 3-minute video package, where it was just him and a loop of his videos of his music. Obviously the cheesy gimmick of all his songs against wrestlers. And then we would have moved into this, where we have Josh Alexander comes to the ring without any music and he looks furious. See, this is what is wrong with professional wrestling. Stupid gimmicks like this. Joe is a disgrace to all the guys who have worked their ass off to get to where they are, and he does it by just goofing around. I have had enough of this, and it is my mission to bring back proper wrestling to you ungrateful fans. So Joe, get out here. I know you're back there because I heard your stupid voice. Get out here so I can kick your ass in a match. There's a brief pause. Joe Hendry's music hits. Looks like we have a match. 44 segment rating. It was messed up by myself, so I believe this next one is going to be Joe Hendry. It is. That gets a 48. Just imagine it's the other way around, guys. But we could use this as Joe Hendry's music comes down, so it kind of works. We'll take that. And in the match, we have a good match, and Joe Hendry defeated Josh Alexander in 13 minutes by pinfall with a freak of nature. Joe Hendry has an in-ring performance of 58, and Josh Alexander a 55. Got the crowd very hot, wrestling a 57, crowd of 45, and the segment rating got a nice 51. We are doing very well with our segment ratings here for our first TNA. But after the match, we have Josh Alexander attack Joe Hendry with a steel chair, leaving him down and out. And he just walks off to the boos of the crowd. Josh Alexander seems to be turning heel. Nice 46 segment rating. We then cut backstage to see Shane McMahon in his office, and we hear him say, "It's a deal." Great. Well, we'll see you very soon. But who is he talking to? But then we have Matt and Jeff Hardy enter his office, and Matt says, "Yes, the Mac of Shane. It's so good to see you again. Me and my brother here wanted to personally welcome you to TNA and ask if you would grant us a title opportunity at the Tag of the World titles." Shane's looking all confused. "Hi, Matt. I'm not entirely sure what's wrong with you, but from what I gather, you want a title shot tonight. Well, seeing as this is my first show, and I'm all about good entertainment, why don't you make your way to the ring and we will have that match right now." Thank you, the Mac of Shane. Yes. And as Matt's leaving, we just see Jeff dancing. So the Hardys have their title match, and that will be next. 51 segment rating. Shane McMahon did not improvise, did not do well without a script. But nice little segment there. So we go into our tag team title match, and it's the first title being defended in the Shane O'Mac era. It will be the Hardys versus the System. And in a decent match, the Hardys defeat the System in 12 minutes when Jeff Hardy pinned Eddie Edwards with a twist of fate and a Swanton Bomb combo. The Hardys win the TNA World Tag Team Championship. First night, titles are on the Hardys. Matt Hardy had a 44, Jeff a 54, Eddie Edwards a 50, and Brian Myers a 40. Matt Hardy was really off his game. But that is, Matt Hardy was penalised due to being in extremely poor form. So Matt Hardy can even improve further on that. Jeff, obviously the stand-up performer with Eddie Edwards. 47 wrestling rating, 41 crowd reaction, and a 47 segment rating. We have new tag team champions. We then cut backstage where we see Nick Nemeth. He's walking in the car park up and down. He's on the phone, and we hear, I told you, as soon as we knew this was happening, the same old shit would happen. I need to know if you have my back. We have both been through this before, and I don't intend to do it again." It's a bit of a cryptic. Who is Nick Nemeth talking about? 57 segment rating. We then quickly cut to a backstage segment where we see Ash attack Jordan from behind with a lead pipe. She leaves Jordan Grace down and out on the ground, her title sprawled on the floor. Oh, Jordan, you didn't think it would be that easy to scare me, did you? You are lucky I don't use this lead pipe on your face, but it wouldn't matter, as no one would be able to tell the difference. Oh, and by the way, I accept your challenge, but it will be on my terms. So Jordan Grace taken out by Ash by Elegance. 34 segment rating. We then see Moose, who is walking backstage towards the ring. He gets a nice crowd reaction from a 55 segment rating. We are ready for the first main event of TNA Impact, and it will be for the world title. Nick Nemeth versus Moose. And in a good match, Nick Nemeth defeated Moose in 17 minutes by pinfall by using underhand tactics. Nick Nemeth makes defense number 5 of his TNA world title. So Nick Nemeth literally turns and uses a foreign object to win this when the referee is not looking. He leaves the ring holding and hugging his title, laughing as Moose is furious in the ring, trying to explain to the ref. Wrestling rating of 53, crowd reaction of 45, and a segment rating of 49. Nick Nemeth a nice performance of 59, Moose of 47. A potential future heel turn for Nick Nemeth was hinted during this segment. And that ends our first Impact of the new era of Shane or Mac. And we get a 52 overall rating. That is not too bad for our first show. This increased our popularity in 43 regions. We would have gained popularity in 7 Canadian and 3 in the British regions, but we just don't have the limited number of viewers there. We're going to have to try and build that up, obviously, to get there. But what a start for Impact. 52 rating. So guys, if you enjoyed this episode, please comment, like and subscribe. Get your thoughts in. What was your favourite bit? Who is Shane or Mac talking about? Who was Nick Nemeth talking to? The Hardys are the new champions. I'm CP Gaming, and I will love to see you back for episode 2 of TNA Impact.